And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Grade A Power Plays. I'm your boy, Grade A Fantasy, here with another edition of Grade A Power Plays. Wanted to bring out a video yesterday. Things came up, so couldn't really bring it out. From the day before, couldn't really do much, but I did get some Dallas power play action from Duchesne and Wyatt Johnson against Calgary the other night, so that helped. But let's continue and go into tonight's 5-game slate. So I do have interest in all games, but let's just get to what I have so far, and we shall talk about. Well, first, let's get the elephant out the room. This is grade A power plays. I have everybody on Carolina going against the worst power play in the league. Carolina has been giving them up home and away. It really doesn't matter. So the entire power play, everybody, especially Nikola Ehlers, who has the highest odds at plus 310, took them all. But when it comes to the Detroit and Vegas game, man, I mean, speaking as a Vegas fan, I love Vegas, but man, the defense is horrible. They're not getting good goaltending, and with them moving the lines now, to me, the most complete line is the Casper Cop, the Brinkett line. So I have Cop for plus 125. I love going with the Brinkett all the time. So plus 172 I got that for. I don't know what the odds are now. I just might as well correlate the entire second line, and we can go to this game and check it out. And Vegas on the road, once you get past the Eichel line, which is going to be looking at Larkin since they're going to be looking at Larkin since they're on the road, and Detroit gets last change. Let's just let this load up a bit. Having a little issue here. Now here we go, and let's go right into Vegas. I think that Detroit second line is the line that has the absolute best combination or best opportunity to succeed, really. So they did shuffle line. So the top line is Rasmussen, Larkin, Kane. That's been the line. But Lucas Raymond, who can create and shoot, Copp, who's a setup guy, and the Brinkat. I think that's the line with the most firepower and the most opportunity to hit. And as I've been looking at the last few games, especially when Vegas is on the road, and I think this is the 6th straight game. This is a long road trip for Vegas. This road trip, I think they have one more game, or this is the end of the road trip. So if we look here, another thing that I want to take too is, since he's more of a setup guy, once in a while he can, but I will definitely take Cop for an assist at plus 225. And then when it comes to the points, you could also add it to both ways. Like if you do, I did it with point and point, because his point by itself, which I already took, is plus 135. The Brinkat with the assist, if you do that with the assist, is plus 250 instead of plus 172. If you do it with Lucas Raymond, plus 254. So basically the same thing, but I do like getting. I have a lot of Detroit too today, so we're just going to keep the trend going. We hope that he gets the assist, because if Copp gets the assist, the point comes with it. And then if you just do the points by itself, plus 135 with Copp and with Lucas Raymond is plus 166. So getting both combinations, mixture of the Brinkett, Raymond, and Copp, that's where I'm going with today. I just love that combination of what that combination can do. I think it literally is the best looking line. Obviously, the optimal line for the old way of Detroit too would be like, if whoever's the center in the middle, whether it be Copp or somebody, and then it's like the Brinkat and Raymond. But when it comes to the last few games, there's just been a decent amount of production from that second line. That's where most of it comes from. Copp is mainly the setup guy, doesn't shoot much, and has two guys that can create. Lucas is a two-way kind of player. He can shoot, he can create. That's why, I definitely love Copp to go for an assist there. But him and Raymond are him and a combination, or taking the whole second line is a combination. No, they are not powerfully correlated. But the second line will have great matchups, seeing the depth, because right now Vegas, bad goaltending and a very, very leaky defense. As we move on, what else I like, and what's funny is I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do for a power play, guys, but let's see if I can figure something out here. What else do I like? Obviously in the Carolina Canucks game. So here's the one thing I have realized. With Canucks at home or on the road, but especially at home, they have the last change. So obviously, even though with a bad team, you have to put your best defense forward with your top line, who's gonna at least the top lines who come into Vancouver still put up a point there here and there, but they do put up resistance. It's the bottom, it's the second, third, and fourth lines that really boom off against Vancouver when they're at home, because Vancouver does put up some resistance. They may stink defensively, and the goaltending may be horrible, but it's the second and third lines that really are going off. So once again, I think there's a theme today where I think a lot of line twos should be able to generate. So if I'm thinking that, then besides the power play correlation, I definitely like Stankoven, Hall, and Blake. You can even look at Jordan Staal with a shooter like Nikola Ehlers. But when it comes to the points, and you know what else I was thinking too? I was thinking that this could be one of those games where, especially if they get a power play correlate, because if a power play correlate 5-on-5, the speed of Carolina and the high tempo of Carolina should be able to decimate Vancouver. So if we did look at just 2 points for each of the guys on the top line, yeah, plus 500. It's something. Or pairing them off like Aho and Jarvis is plus 300, but that's for 2 points. So I don't know. I'll just stick with them with the power play. But when you see the rest of these guys, because you do have Jordan Staal, you have Keandre Miller, you do have Staal and Ehlers here. If you put Staal, there goes Taylor Hall. If you put Staal for plus 140, him a point by himself. With Ehlers is plus 178, but I think the theme today we're gonna go with another very skilled, high productive second line, and that second line definitely looks like it can do some damage. I definitely like some Jackson Blake. There's some Taylor Hall right there, and then if we put in, I just lost him. Where he goes? If all three of those guys are plus 370. Or you could just take Jackson Blake for a point by himself. I think there's a lot of success teams with some nice matchups, especially some second line matchups today. In that matchup, when it comes to Anaheim, you could take some Anaheim in this game because it is David Rittich, not Sorokin, at net. But I do like the Islanders the way they're playing. Not the best power play, but they will get power play opportunities, and this is a bottom 10 or bottom 9 to be exact penalty kill. So if you're interested in the power play would be Barzal, Horvat, all decent odds. They start at 240. You got Matthew Schaefer at plus 325, Callum Ritchie at plus 600. That's something that I'm definitely looking forward to because the opportunity will be there. Callum Ritchie does have 4 power play points in the last 10 games. So that's definitely something that I like. He is on the top power play. Barzal, Horvat, Schaefer, Callum Ritchie. Am I missing somebody? Or did they not list the entire power play here? I don't think the entire power play is listed here. Horvat, Ritchie, Schaefer, Simone Holmstrom, and Barzal. So there's a couple of high price. So that got interesting. So there's a couple of high priced Islanders that have a nice opportunity. So you got Callum Ritchie at plus 600, and you got Simone Holmstrom at plus 750, and Tony DeAngelo, who is at plus 850, but he's on the second unit. So this just looked a bit interesting here. There's something to sprinkle on with the plus 600, plus 750 with the nice power play matchup. So that's definitely something to think about later. And then as we go on with the last game, there's power plays on both ends. St. Louis definitely doesn't get that much in minutes, but this is still a bad penalty kill. Either way, I think you can take it either side, but because of the way the Kraken has been playing, I think I'm going to favor the Kraken on this. And the reason why I say that is because, you can pick what you want, but remember, once you pick, if you're doing a power play kind of parlay or whatever, you can only pick one power play prop per game. You can't pick 2 for either side. You can't even pick 2 from the same team. So if this was the case, What would be a fun power play pick? There go the power play points. Sorry. I mean, even the St. Louis ones look nice because it is a bad. There's bad penalty kills on both ends. So, but Seattle has been playing better. So I do like. If there was something that I would take here, it will probably be. I mean, Vince Dunn at 270 is still decent if you parlay with the other power play quarterbacks like Schaefer or whatever the case may be. I don't know what I'll do for a power play parlay as of yet. But if you just stick with the QBs, and you just go Dunn, if you go Dunn, and let's say you do go to the Islanders game, and let's say you do go Matthew Schaefer, definitely some odds worth a round robin for sure. Where is he? Matthew Schaefer plus 325. And then, of course, I mean, you have to have Gostisbehere. I mean, it's Vancouver. It's the worst. Like I said, this is another night where 4 of the bottom 9 penalty kills, I think, are in play tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Vancouver, Anaheim, Seattle, and St. Louis. Where are they go my points here. And let's say you do go power play point, and let's say, where is he? Power play point. Oh, they go Shayne Gostisbehere plus 240. 534 if those guys connect on their power play. So, not bad. Definitely not bad. Obviously, it's a whole lot different if you add one of those guys from from the Islanders against Anaheim. And then the other fun thing that I like to try to do, let's clear all this before I get off this show today. We'll go to the goal scorers. And my new thing to do, power play goals. So this definitely moved. I think this started at 120. It's at 130 now for Carolina. Where are the power play goals to go? The Islanders at the Ducks. By the way, I didn't pick anything from Anaheim because even though Islanders don't give up that many minutes anyway, Rittich is at goal, but the penalty kill is still solid. It's mainly because of Sorokin, of course, but that's still right there at the 80% penalty kill mark. For the Islanders is minus 115 to get a power play goal. And I'll do, like I said, I favor the way the Kraken are just playing lately, so we'll just go goal scorer here. I got a feeling one of these guys might be plus odds, if it didn't move by now, obviously. And power play goes here. St. Louis is the plus. Interesting. I thought it'd be the Kraken. But if you put St. Louis there, plus 5, that's what we normally get with some of these parlays that I normally do with the goal scorer. Like if you pick a team to get a power play goal in the game, that's what I normally get. You get the 560s, the 6 somethings or whatever. But there's definitely some interesting power play. There's a power play quarterback parlay. But if you just want to do power play in general, let's just do this before I get up out of here. Power plays in general, and what's worth a round robin, definitely some stinking high ass odds. We're gonna go past Matthew Schaefer, and you know what? Since he has 4 in the last 10, probably has the opportunity to get on the board here. Even though Samuel Holmstrom is plus 750, we'll go Callum Ritchie plus 600. Then we'll go Carolina. And once you get decent odds like Gostisbehere, because they still didn't trim him all the way down yet, he's still in the mid 200s. That should get us some nice. That's plus. Those two by themselves are plus 2280, and then it's just a case of who you want to go to, because like I said, there's opportunities on both sides here. But let's say we go. Like I said, it's a bad power play. This is interesting because I don't know who to pick. That's the thing. But like I said, I'm going to favor the Seattle side because Seattle is the team that's been playing better. So let's go with Vinny Dunn, Beniers, Eberle, Chandler Stevenson. We'll go Eberle. If you do that or something like that, It's $10 plays almost 1,000, 96.58. But there's a lot. I suggest, depending on what you want, I favor Seattle because they're playing better. They're at home. I think they'll be able to get a couple of power plays. The power play has been clicking. It's a good power play. St. Louis still looks good too, so those are odds to be taken. But man, there are some odds to be taken, some high odds to be taken for a round robin or some type of parlay that can hit heavy. You don't even have to do 3. Do one of the guys from who does the net front for the Islanders. Hopefully they get lucky against Anaheim, and it just goes from there. But a power play QB, yeah, Vince Dunn, Gostisbehere, Schaefer, that's viable. But there's some high odds that's worth the risk. Definitely, without a doubt. But this is your boy, Grade A Fantasy, with another episode of Grade A Power Plays. Thank you for tuning in once again. Good luck tonight. Hopefully, we'll be talking about what wins we got tomorrow. This is your boy, Grade A Fantasy, and I'm signing off.